Good evening, everybody. You're watching NDTV, and this is The Buck Stops Here. Today was when the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, took her political fight with ED out of the courtrooms to the streets of Kolkata. She marched for 6 kilometers in the central part of Kolkata, along with her party leaders and artists from Tollywood and several other people from the state, trying to strengthen not just her position as a street fighter, something that she has been all her life, but also to draw attention on what she calls the rights of her state and the misuse of agencies allegedly by the BJP. That's what she claimed just a day after we saw her barge into the residence of IPAC director and co-founder Pratik Jain, who was raided by ED on charges of association with money laundering cases. She defended her move today and said that she did this only because she knows that ED is acting at the behest of the BJP. She said that she did this because she did not want campaign material of her party to be stolen from the office. Now, the BJP has lashed out very strongly at the Chief Minister, saying that she's undermining institutional processes and she has hijacked the institution, she has hijacked the investigation, and she has converted a criminal probe into political theatre. That's the big accusation that the BJP has made on her. But what is this controversy going to shape up? How is this controversy going to shape the political battle that we're going to witness in this state in the months to come? Is this also a dangerous precedent of regional leaders taking on investigating agencies, or is it just a battle of narratives or a test of institutions? Let's take a look at those reactions.
The entire action of the Chief Minister is not only unethical, irresponsible, unconstitutional, but she has put the entire democratic process and governance to shame.
আমায় খুন করতে এসছো, আমার আত্মরক্ষা করার অধিকার আছে। তুমি সমস্ত ডেটা আমার অফিস থেকে চুরি করছিলে, যে অফিস আইপ্যাককে আমরা অথরাইজ করেছি। তোমরা তো 6টা থেকে ঢুকেছো, আমি তো গেছি 11:45-এ। 5.5 ঘন্টা সবই তো চুরি করেছো। মানুষকে আমি ভালোবাসি যেমন, জোড়া ফুলটাতেই তো আমরা দাঁড়াই। তা জোড়া ফুলটা যদি রক্ষা না হয়, পার্টিটাই যদি রক্ষা না হয়, তো মানুষের জন্য লড়াইটা করবো কি করে?
And in an administrative forum, even the Chief Justice cannot change a judicial order. It is known to every lawyer. But why ED has done? Amit Shah thinks that he has purchased the entire India. That is the reason. They are the arrogance.
देखिए, ममता बनर्जी की जो मार्च है वो भ्रष्टाचारियों बचाओ मार्च है। प्लीज नोट, the march of Mamata Banerjee on the streets of Kolkata is a corruption bachao march of Trinamool Congress.
Well, we have some breaking piece of news for you. IPAC, which is at the center of this storm, has issued a statement now saying that it does not contest elections. It's just a consultancy firm. It has in fact listed all the parties that it has worked with. It has also called the ED raids on its offices, residences of its co-directors, co-founders as completely unfortunate. That's the piece of breaking news, the news that we're bringing for you right now. IPAC, the political consultancy firm that is at the center of this controversy, has issued a statement post ED raids. Meanwhile, ED sources have also told NDTV that it is India Pac Consultancy Private Limited that is at the center of this controversy, that was raided for its alleged association with money laundering cases, also coal smuggling cases, and not really the Indian Political Action Committee. This is something that we are gathering from ED sources. ED sources have also said that searches and investigations took place in the case of India Pac Consulting Private Limited and not really on any Indian Political Action Committee. A strong clarification by ED there, even after it has approached the CBI asking for a probe, not just into what really happened yesterday, but also on the role of the Chief Minister, who was seen barging into the house of one of the directors who was raided yesterday. Clearly, the political flashpoint that we have to watch out for in days to come. We are joined by TMC MP Kirti Azad now. Kirti Azad, one of those MPs who also protested against the centre in New Delhi today. Mr. Azad, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. My first question to you, sir. How are you looking at this entire episode? You protested, you were one of those MPs who protested and were also allegedly detained by the Union Home Ministry. The BJP is saying all of this is just an attempt by the TMC to convert an investigation into political theatre. How would you look at that accusation?
It's very strange. I mean, if they had papers, they had everything, and they're doing a case under PMLA, they have arrested people like Arvind Kejriwal, Sanjay Singh, and so many others. Without reading, they should have arrested straight away. So this shows that they have nothing. It was basically a political vendetta. As earlier once the Supreme Court had said that CBI is a caged parish, this is a caged manna of the BJP. And we have seen that 98% of the cases filed by ED are against the opposition when it comes to politicians. And it was something like trying to pick up. Elections are only 2 months ago, 2 months ahead of us. And all the strategies are basically made by IPAC. The internal survey of the BJP said that they can't win more than 25 seats in Bengal because they've lost a lot of ground and people don't trust them. So this was the last resort that they had because Mr. Modi has put a lot of pressure on Mr. Amit Shah that he wants Bengal by hook or by crook. And hence they went and raided IPAC, who has been appointed by us for the last 6 years to look into our political programs that we do and strategy. And so obviously there were a lot of strategy papers there. There were a lot of the list of candidates, the programs that were set for us and for other dignitaries and the political party officials. So hence they wanted to take all that with BLA, list of BLAs, BLOs and others. So it was basically political. They wanted to snatch that away. And Mamata Bandyopadhyay, our leader, went there as the chairman of the AITC. It's something like somebody coming to your house and taking away papers which are registrations of your house or your office, your lease deed with your things, with your
Right.
employees or whatever.
Because, Mr. Azad, you know, the BJP and a lot of other experts are also asking this important question that this sets a very dangerous precedent of regional leaders, especially opposition leaders, taking on investigating agencies because they're asking this question as to why does a chief minister of a state, an elected official, personally, why does she need to intervene because an investigation is on? If there's nothing to hide, let the investigation take place. That's the big accusation or claim that they're making. How would you respond?
I think I had answered this. You didn't follow what I was saying. I said, Mr. Modi wants to win Bengal by hook or by crook. And hence IPAC, which has been appointed by us to look into political strategy for the last 6 years, they were asked, they had all the details of our strategy. They had details of our programs. They had the list of candidates. So they were at place, Trinamool being the most popular party in Bengal. They had a list of more than even 15 people wanting to contest from one seat, BLAs, people that we're going to visit. So obviously they wanted to take all that. If they had to do the raid, why 2 months before the election? Why? And if they have been accused and if they've been following them for a long time, why didn't they arrest them? Why did they go there? They just wanted details. And she went there, as I mentioned earlier to you, as chairperson of the All India Trinamool Congress. And she is the leader of our party, apart from being the chief minister.
Right. So, Mr. Azad, you think it's completely justifiable for the elected chief minister to act like this? I completely get your point. I think it's a valid point. But for an elected official to act like this, do you think it's completely defensible?
If somebody is going a chairperson of AITC, who happens to be the chief minister, don't you think she'll have security following her? Don't you have Narendra Modi when he's going for political speeches, having his entire security paraphernalia there? The districts are called, 4, 5, 6, 7 districts are called just for his security. Even Amit Shah when he goes, or any other person goes, they have the security with them. So why would Mamata Banerjee be accused for that? I fail to understand. And I would want to know one thing. This is something that the ED is saying on its own that all these things have happened. I want to say things that we heard from the horse's mouth. Number one, Ajit Pawar, when the Honorable Prime Minister in one of his public meetings, which was shown live by your NDTV, where he said that Ajit Pawar, जिसने 70,000 करोड़ का घोटाला किया है, ED का इनके ऊपर केस चल रहा है और ये जेल जाएंगे. And after 3 days, he succumbed, went through the washing machine, and Ajit Pawar was the Deputy Chief Minister for Maharashtra. Then we had Amit Shah again show live on your NDTV when he was sitting in a press conference in Assam and said, Hemant Biswa Sharma को हम यहाँ हमारी सरकार बीजेपी की बनेगी तो जेल भेजेंगे. Today he sits as the chief minister of Bengal. Thirdly, Praful Patel, who did a scam of 40,000 crores. ED had filed all papers and everything, and he went scot-free. Last but not the least, with many of the cases that are there, I'm mentioning Mr. Suvendu Adhikari, who was caught live taking money, 5 lakhs of rupees in cash, caught on your camera. What has happened to those? All went through the washing machine. Why selective amnesia?
Right.
Do they have a short memory or they have selective amnesia? It's a question to be asked. And why 2 months before
But
the
Mr.
elections
Azad,
are to
the
take
other
place,
question that's
you are
being
coming
asked
up
of
with these?
Right. Mr. Azad, the BJP and the opposition is also in Bengal is also raising this question that you protested outside the Home Ministry today while ED comes under Finance Ministry. They are saying that the TMC is trying to reduce all of this to theatrics. How would you respond to that because ED comes under the Finance Ministry?
You have so many ministries. Even the coal ministry comes under the central government, and they're accusing us of a scam. I mean, the tenders are floated by the coal ministry. They distribute these to their own cronies, earn money from there. The securities of Central Industrial Security Force (CISF), which looks after it, and they're accusing us when they should be accused for the entire thing for all that they've been doing. Secondly, no secretary works for no ministry. No secretary works for any minister. They all work for the Prime Minister, who instructs Mr. Amit Shah to go and do these things. So obviously, we know he's the man, he's the kingpin. He's the guy who should be told that he has to be answerable to us. We were doing a peaceful dharna. We were not disturbing anybody. The cars were going in and coming out. All these government officials were going into there. We were not disturbing. We were not making a hue and cry or anything of the sorts. We were simply saying slogans and standing on the side, and they came and even manhandled our lady members of parliament, which I think was very bad.
Okay. Mr. Azad, my last question to you. What kind of political impact do you expect this episode to have on politics of Bengal? Because I know that BJP has, its performance has not been improving in Bengal. In fact, it's been going down. But when it comes to other states, be it Arvind Kejriwal or Bhupesh Baghel, whoever blamed the centre for misuse of agencies has been losing elections. The BJP has been winning a lot of assembly polls. Don't you think that will have an impact on West Bengal, which might or might not even see fatigue after so many years of TMC rule?
You know why all this ED action took place? Because the BJP, their internal survey says they're not winning more than 25 seats. The same was when the Maharashtra elections were being fought. They said that Congress is going to get back to power. Haryana, it was the same case. In Bihar, they were having it very tough with Akhilesh going around and, gathering so much a crowd. So they did this SIR. They manipulated the entire thing. They blackmailed people with ED. They saw to it that the senior leaders of the opposition sat at home and did not work. This is exactly because they're not able to do anything in Bengal. They've started this ED thing, and that too just before 2 months, just to take out the strategy, the political strategy from IPAC that we're going to have in the next coming elections.
Okay, that's an interesting thought. Thank you so much, Kirti Azad, for joining us. TMC MP Kirti Azad on the raids on IPAC and the subsequent march by Mamata Banerjee. Thank you, Mr. Azad. We're also joined by Tuhin Sinha of the BJP now. We have Tausif Rahman of the TMC. We have Smita Prakash, ANI editor, also an analyst. And we also have Jayanto Ghoshal, who is also an analyst and author. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Tuhin Sinha, to you first. You heard everything that Mr. Azad had to say. He says this is not political theatre. This is just fight for the state. How would you respond?
Well, good evening, Vasudha. Good evening, everybody. Kirti Azad, what he said, I was very surprised. It does not carry any logic. And in fact, the way TMC has behaved in the last 36 hours, they have reiterated two things many times over. Number one, TMC is fundamentally, it's temperamentally unfit to belong to a modern democracy like India. And TMC runs less like a political entity, like a political party, and more like a mafia empire. Now, today, the way they tried to obstruct the working of the court proceedings, the TMC affiliated lawyers, it only shows the kind of lumpenry they are resorting to, the way they are trying to intimidate the judiciary. On the one hand, India Alliance is trying to impeach the judge in Madras High Court who passed the order in favor of Deepak Hun. And now over here, you see them obstructing court proceedings. And yesterday, the way Mamata Banerjee tried to obstruct raids, please understand that even in the past, Lalu Yadav has been investigated. Lalu Yadav's places have been raided. Hemant Soren and Shivu Soren have gone through the process, but no chief minister has resorted to the kind of obstructionism, the kind of mayhem mongering which Mamata Banerjee resorted to yesterday. And why was she so affected? I mean, what is it that she's trying to hide? I am told that she took out certain papers which belong to February 2022. Now, if that is correct, how are papers from February 2022 anyway connected with her election preparations for 2026? I am telling you what was the connection. Those papers probably contained the money trail involved in making payments to IPAC, and the same money laundering network is supposedly is supposed to have been used in making payments in the coal scam. And that is where TMC's involvement, right, TMC's complicity in the coal scam stands exposed. I think Mamata Banerjee should face the law. She should respect the law and not resort to this mayhem mongering.
Let me bring in Smita Prakash. Right. Smita Prakash, your big takeaways from this episode, because, there are two things here. One, Mamata Banerjee walking the streets of Kolkata. There is this clear sentiment that when it comes to street politics, nobody does it better than her. So maybe the BJP needs a different template for this state. But on the other hand, the fact that a CM, a sitting chief minister, had to personally intervene, and those visuals of her walking out with those laptop, I mean, what is the picture that you have in your mind, and what do you think really went right or wrong in this episode?
You're absolutely right, Vasudha, that she will take to the streets, and that's her USP. That's her unique selling proposition of being this fighter who doesn't play by the book. And make no mistake that Mamata Bandyopadhyay versus Amit Shah is going to be the lead motive of this election. It's going to be these two political giants who are going to take this battle, which is going to reach peak frenzy, I think, by February end. But it's already begun. I mean, she's a 3-time chief minister and he is a home minister. He hasn't forgotten the drubbing that the BJP got in the last election, and she is going to make this ever more so difficult for him to win this election. So in a way, what you're seeing, if I may say, is him a wounded tiger and she the Bengal tigress. And so there's going to be blood on the street. It's absolutely clear that there will be blood spilled. And, she made this scathing personal attack today on the Home Minister, on the Prime Minister, mentioning, corruption. She mentioned Amit Shah's son. She talked about Hiren Pandya. She has taken gloves off from the word go. Women voters who are her core support base, they love this fighting spirit in Mamata Banerjee. They don't want to see her sitting in the chief minister's house. They want to see her with those 2 microphones, 2 watches, or 1 watch and 1 fitness band, wearing her sari and her rubber chappal and fighting it out, barging into places. She's still that fighter spirit, even though she sits in a constitutional position. And this is the imagery that they want her to do, and she's giving it to them.
Absolutely. Jayant, there's an interesting statement by Shujan Chakravarti of the CPM today, and he says that when same raids happened with Jyotipriya Malik or others, including Partho Chatterjee, you didn't see such reactions from Mamata Banerjee. But yes, when it comes to Abhishek Banerjee, IPAC, Firhad Hakim, Shubhrato Chatterjee, or several other people, she has made it a point to personally go sit at CBI's office. I remember even with Rajiv Kumar this happened, the ex-DGP. What makes Mamata Banerjee come in her element, when it comes to certain cases? Because it can't just be, selective, right? What is it that makes her become a street fighter once in a while, but that happens quite too often? Jayanta Ghoshal. Okay, let me take this question to Tausif Rahman. Tausif, how do you look at the BJP's big allegation that the TMC is trying to stall investigation because it wants to protect those who are corrupt?
Good evening to everyone. Well, I never knew that Tuhin Sharma has become a judge and he's giving his judgment on a national television platform on NDTV. But anyways, I mean, just for once, try to understand the kind of atrocities are being done by the ruling government on non-ruling BJP state. ED is supposed to be neutral, Vasudhaji, neutral agency. But I'm sorry to say they are working for BJP, which is clear today. And it's not Venezuela that you will send your brokers as ED and take away our political strategies. This is Bengal and she is Mamata Bandyopadhyay. And yes, no one is above the law. We all are law-abiding citizens. But with such mafia of Home Minister Amit Shah, we know the tactics control these mafia syndicates coming from Delhi. We know how to control it. See, again, this ED is just following the instruction of BJP. Why these raids are always during election? The intention is clear, to harass TMC, but they are daydreaming, Vasudhaji. IPAC is our IT office from where we plan our strategies, what they wanted to loot actually. Our strategies, our candidate name. Now, BJP is saying, "Arey, candidate name hai, 2022 hai, something. Arey, so what? If the candidate name is there inside the IPAC office, that's our problem. That's not your problem. And why are you there to shield and protect ED? ED is a neutral agency. And if you ask me about Mamata Banerjee taking the files from the spot, then ladies and gentlemen, she did the right thing because we can't trust an agency whose credibility is zero and the conviction rate is 0.7. We won't allow the B team of BJP with such circus. Why such exercise only during election season? Basically now BJP is scared seeing day before yesterday's Abhishek Banerjee's program at Itaha. They couldn't sleep all night. What is the success rate of ED? Again, I want to come there. So, this all form of atrocities and torture coming from back door, we're not supposed to do like this. We have to follow constitution.
Okay, Tuhin Sinha, respond to that. Tuhin Sinha, this is a huge miscalculation by the BJP is what the TMC is saying, especially when it comes to Bengali sentiment. Something that Smita also talked about. That this is a state with a lot of nuances. What is the BJP thinking?
Where is the question of miscalculation? When it's an agency which is doing its job, the case dates back to 2020. If there are new evidence, there is new incriminating information which has come out, do you expect the ED to stop working just because IPAC is affiliated with TMC? I mean, why should IPAC get that immunity just because it is the political arm of TMC? I think, Mamata Banerjee is fundamentally against the federal structure of this country. Not only has she shown her, disregard for all investigating agencies, the way she has been threatening the country on the implementation of Waqf Act. Now, imagine laws which are passed by Parliament. Please, you can't barge in like this.
No, she's not threatening. You cannot say like this.
No. You want me to produce the videos?
Please.
You want to show the videos? You want to show the videos?
Finish your point.
Yes, he's threatening BJP.
Does he have a memory problem? He can visit the Mamata Banerjee's videos, the way she was threatening the country on the implementation of CAA, the way she was saying she will not allow. Please, you have to visit the videos.
Sir, this is not the way.
This is not the way an elected CM is supposed to conduct herself.
Laws
passed by both houses of Parliament.
That's a
bills passed by both.
Let him finish his point.
No chief minister has any right to stall bills which have been passed by both houses of Parliament and have become a law. If she doesn't understand law, if she behaves like an illiterate person, that is not our problem. But she cannot stoke anarchy. She cannot stoke violence in Bengal. And Murshidabad violence can be directly attributed to her attitude. So I think it's about time Mamata Banerjee respects the federal structure of this country. She can't be demonizing investigating agencies.
Is back with us. Yes, Tuhin, your point is taken. Jayanta Ghoshal, what are your big takeaways from this episode, sir? Because the left has been alleging that Mamata Banerjee gets into this fighter spirit only in certain cases, be it Abhishek Banerjee or Rajiv Kumar or IPAC, and does not do that for a lot of other people when it comes to, Jyotipriya Malik or several other people. But I have seen her being on the streets quite many times. Does this also invoke a different sentiment amongst Bengalis, or has that changed?
I think, Basudha, I don't want to go into the details of this legality, the odd question, because I respect what Tuhinji is saying. I am not a party spokesman of TMC. But I think the BJP strategy on West Bengal election, I think after this incident, it has become advantage Mamata, and Mamata in Bengal, Delhi and West Bengal, I think 1,500 kilometers it is away from Delhi capital. This ED and BJP, this relationship Mamata Banerjee has established, because now BJP spokesmen are supporting whatever ED has done, and ED's statement, the official statement, there are two aspects regarding the coal scam, all these things. As a journalist, I respect that also, the non-attributing sources, ED claims type of stories. But on record, there's this thing, there is no mention of Pratik's involvement with coal scam, and Mamata also has not raised that issue. But now through this movement, Mamata is getting the victim status. And if you survey, BJP can survey that whether ED is neutral or not. When BJP was in opposition, BJP used to call CBI Congress Bureau of Investigation. I remember I was a BJP beat correspondent in Delhi. And today, if you ask any person whether Mamata's anti-incumbency, all the SIR issue to Murshidabad, political polarization, Hindu, Muslim, all the Hindutva issue of BJP, now it has become a more anti-Delhi. Bengali has a typical radical Bengali anti-Delhi mindset. Whether it is good or bad, I don't know, because we have suffered also for that. I am not discussing the future of West Bengal. But for this strategy, I think it's a completely wrong strategy of BJP, that you are going to, because Partho Chatterjee, we have seen the election, now he is on bail. Rather, he is saying that I want to fight the election. Jyotipriya Malik, all these things, there should be a deadline, time limit. And this case, if ED, after election, if they do, what was the problem? And you are giving the publicity that now ED is going, so the coverage, media, as a media person, we are very much excited. The media's adrenaline is completely, we are happy.
Smita Prakash, would you agree with Jayanta Ghoshal's opinion that this may have been a wrong strategy by the BJP? Because, I do feel that while we keep thinking about these things, in Delhi also we saw Kejriwal lose power. We saw Lalu Prasad Yadav's family also lose power in a very bad way. So sometimes the BJP is just trying to push this anti-corruption narrative of its image, and it's working in some states. Why will it not work in Bengal?
Well, Vasudha, I kind of agree and disagree with what Jayanto had to say. This whole thing about TMC accusing BJP of being anti-Bengali. Now, this is something that we saw in the last election also. And so far, the BJP has failed to communicate a cultural connect with Bengalis. It's not happened in the last election. Remains to be seen whether it can be done this season. This election, where I disagree with Jayanto is about the victim status that Mamata is trying to portray herself as a victim of aggression from the center. I don't think that's going to click because she's tried that earlier. Now, after having 3 terms, you can't claim to be a victim, and I don't think that's going to click, because she can't be the ferocious tiger as well as victim at the same time. So, to say she's Agniputri and at the same time she's victim, how does that happen? So, there I think there is a problem. As far as the central agencies misuse news is concerned, that is a rag, that is an alap which is going to keep coming all through, whether it is when the forces come, when the election commission will come, when everybody comes from Delhi to Bengal, and during the electoral process, she is going to talk about using this. So the BJP has still not responded to the attacks. Are they keeping their cards close to their chest? Because what you're seeing is a response on TV channels, but on the ground there is still no vehement response as such from the leadership. There is from the local leadership, from the central leadership, not yet.
Not Venezuela. And this is not
That is a very important point, Tuhin Sinha. I do feel that this campaign, I do feel that this campaign also in some ways brings back again to the fore the centrality of Mamata Banerjee in the TMC campaign, because TMC is Mamata Banerjee is TMC, and the BJP still doesn't have a regional leader of her stature. Do you think that the BJP in an episode like this has also in some ways given an opportunity to Mamata Banerjee to bring back the spotlight on her, that, you know, in some ways another way of her reaching out to people and saying that yes, my party could have made mistakes, but it's about me? Tuhin Sinha.
You know what we are opposing over here is her violent obstructionism. She had every right to move the courts of law to prevent the ED investigation, but she had no business barging into the office of IPAC and stealing away certain documents which could have been very pivotal, which have been very crucial in the investigation. That's a limited point. Now, as far as playing victim is concerned, that's the only thing which Mamata Banerjee knows at this point of time, because her 15 years of rule in Bengal have been the worst, have been the most decadent phase for Bengal. So obviously she's going to try and play the victim once again. But the fact is, this time the anti-incumbency is so high that the same tricks which she has played in the past will not work. The law of diminishing returns is going to catch up with her, and she will know it very soon.
Right. Tausif Rahman, your response?
See, I don't know what Tuhin Sharma is all talking about. He's again going back, he's coming forward, but it doesn't make sense, because I don't know, he's talking like a judge.
But he's pointing to a very specific process that the Chief Minister should not behave.
So why is he not able to understand?
Like
Why is he not able to understand what I'm talking about?
I'm not. So maybe I'm dumb, but I cannot be a judge of a Supreme Court or a High Court.
Why is he not able to
respond to you.
English?
Let me respond, sir. Let me give you a news story. So you see, 2020 November, this coal scam or money laundering, whatever it took place. You know, IPAC was under Prashant Kishore. I mean, he left IPAC during 2021, and all this took place 6 years back. So what is it? Is there any setting with Prashant Kishore, or did he help BJP during Bihar election? Because the scenario is very clean. Whoever goes against BJP, the B team, ED, IT, or what central agency will start knocking your door. And end of the day, if something happens as per BJP, go to the court. We did that. I mean, ED, TMC, Pratik Jain, Bengal police, they all have gone to the court, and now let's wait and watch. So it is as simple as that. And if you don't understand my English, and if you don't understand if I'm making sense or not, so if you have any problem with Mamata Bandyopadhyay, I do understand. You are not going to win. And let me take it very clearly. Let me explain you very clearly. You want to fight on the ground. You want to fight inside the court. You want to fight up in the sky. We will hammer you 360 degree, and you won't be able to do anything, I think, because the vote and the blessing of the people is with Trinamool Congress. Take it from me, Mr.
TMC, Vasudha, the TMC representative can do better than
quickly
this.
Respond to that before I take closing remarks from our analyst.
I seriously think the TMC representative can do better than this. The case may date back to 2020, but if there is emergence
will you go to Prashant Kishore?
If there is fresh evidence emergence,
will you go with that fresh evidence to Prashant Kishore as well?
The law enforcing agencies, the investigation agencies are under no obligation. They are under no obligation. They are under no obligation to make you happy just because IPAC is your entity. It's your affiliated entity. If there is emergence of new entity, the law will take its own course.
You need to confirm yourself whether IPAC is a private company or working with TMC.
Street veto will not work in Turkman Gate. It will not work on the streets of Bengal, and you will see it in May this year.
Okay, Jayanta Ghoshal, your closing remarks, sir. How do you expect this episode to sort of end in the coming days? What else is expected to be unraveled?
You see, in this political West Bengal is always every election. In the last assembly election, in the last Lok Sabha election, it is nothing new for a onlooker of West Bengal politics. But the latest, the possibility of president rule in West Bengal after this, now it has become a major campaign issue. And now West Bengal BJP is demanding that president rule should be imposed. And if Mamata Banerjee has done illegal things, then you can take action. You can go for 356. You can go for major action. But you know, the public perception, again, will be more aggressive. So I am expecting lot of more tutu meh in this coming election, and this is very unfortunate because the anti-incumbency, if it is strong, one BJP leader, I cannot take the name as a journalist, he was telling me that the best thing to remain silent,
Right.
the people can vote against Mamata. But what the BJP is doing is a more aggressive way through ED, through EC. Maybe the Bengali Bhadralok were ready to vote against Mamata. Now they have become anti-Delhi for this style of campaign, style of functioning. Because, you know, when the anti-incumbency, if it is there, when CPM, I remember, we never expected that CPM is going. But suddenly we have seen that TMC, when TMC came to power, we never expected that election, because 30 years, the Bengalis are very bad consumer. If we buy a shoe from Bata, I think there are a lot more repair shops in Bengal than Delhi, because Delhi is more throwaway society.
Right.
So consumerism
Closing remarks
point
from
of
you.
view,
Yeah,
I
very
think
important points.
we will
Smita Prakash,
repair
closing
again,
remarks from you, ma'am.
because BJP has become more anti-Bengali perception.
I think Jayanto is quite right. The quirky Bhadralok that he talks about, they have their mood swings, and we can't depend on electoral results according to the quirks of the Bhadralok, I think. But it will be a very interesting election, for certain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. An investigation has turned into an all-out political war in poll-bound West Bengal, a case that is going to also escalate nationally and in some ways bring the attention to accountability and also clash of not just contests, political contests, but also narratives. With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.